Hello. Hey, Parv.
Hello.
Yeah, so let's start the meet. Uh, can you
Okay.
share the PPT?
Let me share the PPT.
Sure.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So, welcome to the weekly tab call for GitMesh. Uh, let's start this meeting, the weekly tab call. Let me share you the today's agenda. So last week we released our version 0.2.0 alpha. It is a second release for the alpha versions, and we will also talk about the progress we have done in the last week and what are the plans for the future progress. And at the last, we have the Q&A session. So let's start this meeting. Uh, One thing, Ryan is not today because he is attending the uh, global open source summit at Korea. He will be available from the next week. So Ronit, will you continue for this for explaining the release of the 0.12 version?
Yeah, sure, sure. So basically, version 0.2.0 alpha is
Hmm.
like in this version we have integrated a lot of NCP tools, and we have also did some refactoring in the deployment part, and also fixed some of the bugs which we were getting earlier. So regarding MCP part, basically there are MCPs related to GitHub, Jira, Notion, and all the other things basically which mostly are used by the open source tools and open source contributors and maintainers. Along with that, user can add his own MCP with his own API keys so that whatever the tool use he wants, he can basically add the MCP in the MCP section, and after adding the MCP, basically he can use the MCP from the chat section by calling the tool calls. So this is a one of the quite good feature that how we can use MCP, different MCPs. We can integrate N8 MCPs later, but yeah, with these MCPs, Gitmesh is now more overpowered, and we can just have all the tools in our chat system with different MCP calls. So yeah, this is the like major part of the version 0.2.0 alpha, and in next week we will be releasing version 0.3.0, which I'll discuss like what will be our future roadmaps and future features for that version. So yeah, continue.
So can you explain what type of MCPs are there in integrations currently?
Right now, MCPs are initially the default MCPs are related to Zira, Notion, and Docker MCPs, and along with that, there are some more several MCPs which right now don't remember, but yeah, you can have a look when you download the repo, and when you start the repo and just go to the MCP setting and use the example. Then from there you can have a look like what are the default MCPs which we have integrated and which can be easily used by our tool calls.
Okay, uh, that's all about the MCP and version 2.0. I will tell you about the progress the last week we have. So we have merged several of the pull requests from different contributors and also resolved many of the issues in the past week. One of the pull requests is related to the version 2.0 alpha itself that MCP service integrated. This pull request was done by Snake and entered by it was merged by Ronit and it was mentored by Ronit. So Sneh has integrated the complete MCP part in the version 2.0 alpha. Besides this, there is a proper documentation update which is done by Ronit. The documentation is related to the cloud and Docker implementation, the deployment related documentation that that is included in the README and other files as well. And there were many pull requests related to the UI fixes. They were they were mostly done by Mithul and other contributors. I will get through these pull requests in a while, in a short time. Talking about the issues we have resolved, there were many issues related to the UI, like notification filter icons color need to be updated. uh, there are many bugs, there were many bugs in the GitMesh that were related to the UI, and those works are Mithul has mostly worked on those issues. He has worked on the UI and solved many of them. There are still a lot of them to go, and we will be solving them shortly. Then few bugs were also solved. Uh, Unintended settings update toast on navigation. It was also closed by Mithul. It is also an UI related, front end related issue for the navigation. And another issue that was resolved by Ryan is add pull request template. So now how the GitMesh, now GitMesh has a pull request template for the pull request feature. Uh, there is a particular pull request template that will be enabled when creating a pull request via GitMesh. Let me take you to the GitMesh GitHub account to show you what were actually the fixes. So these were the closed issues. These issues were solved mostly by Mithul, like the UI bug that I mentioned, the core issue which I mentioned, and most of these issues were solved by Mithul. And as for the pull request, we also have a new contributor. Uh, his name is Jason. He worked for the UI issues, for the UI for light and dark theme. He enhanced the visibility for the light and dark themes in the GitMesh. Jason is a new contributor. He recently opened this issue, and it was merged by Ronit. Uh, there were other pull requests by Mithul, Ronit, and Sneh. These were the pull requests before the version 2.0 alpha, and thanks to these, the version 2.0 alpha is now complete. We will be solving more issues. You can look at the open issues here. There are still many issues pending, and you can start working on these issues. We will be focusing on solving these issues and adding more features. This will be explained by Ronit. What will be the features in the version 3.0 alpha, and what issues will be solved in version 3.0. You can start working on these issues if you want. That's all about the progress we have done in the last week. Uh, let's talk about the future plans we have in the mind.
Okay, sure. Let me tell about this. Okay, so first thing, ki till now our GitMess repo is quite pretty good, It has MCPs and very advanced chat rack system. But with that, we need to integrate some of the features which are necessary for the maintainers and the contributors, so that they can maintain different type of issues and different type of PR. Like they can manage the PR very easily, and they can find the bugs in the PR on the spot. And with that, they can see the insights of different contributors, like how different contributors are contributing, like in which direction different contributors are contributing, or how let's say if there is PR management, then how different PRs are valuable, in which terms, and which ways, like this PR is more valuable, or this PR has more line of code, and which PR is more fruitful for the project, and which PR is completely divergent with the current repo. So all these things need to be implemented now. So yeah, and all these things we have planned for our version 3. So let me first go with the first feature, which is issue trial. And uh, issue triage is basically that, like let's say different issues are being created by different contributors in the GitHub, right? But based on that, we don't have any personalized analytics for that particular issue. Like so basically what we want to implement here, that whatever the issues which are present in the GitHub, we basically want to flag those issues with some of the insights, so that whosoever want to solve that particular issue, they can get more detailed insights based on whatever the context of the issue is, by our AI rack system. So in this issue tracks feature, basically we are trying to implement some kind of intelligence system or a multi-agent system at the backend, so that whenever some new issue comes, or whenever the new issue is being faced, then based on the embed using the embeddings of the code base, and matching the issues with the code base, we will basically try to find out the different insights which is related to that particular issue, and we'll show that insights in on the spot on the screen there, so that after the creation of the issue, whosoever the new contributor is or the maintainer is, he can easily reflect what the exact issue is, or and from which file these issues are coming, all those things, whatever the partial information present in the issue, that can be easily addressed by our AI system, which is basically a advanced code understanding system. So when we'll have this feature on our board in the GitMesh, in which that could help a lot to the different maintainers and contributors in understanding the issue and solving it. The issue will become much more easier, because we'll have a like exact complete context of the issue and how that can be reproduced. Also with that, maybe we can add some feature, something related to key, how we can reproduce the issue. Because if you see in lots of issues in the open source, people usually don't mention how issues can be reproduced. So if we are able to implement that, how that particular issue can be reproduced, then that will create a great help. Because in then the things that we streamline, and anyone who wants to contribute or who wants to solve that particular issue, that it will be very easy for them to initiate with just a very little guidance or no guidance. So that's the thing which we want to achieve, so that we can promote this, and involve more people in the open source and make more better softwares. So yeah, this is the one feature which we'll try to focus for our next version. With that, our main second major feature would be PR management. So with PR management, basically whatever the PRs is created by the user, basically we'll try to integrate some of the like PR review system of our own, and also we'll give an option to like integrate some of the external tools for the PR management system or PR review system. But along with that, we'll have our own PR review system, so that whatever the PR being created by the user, that will be easily analyzed by code, like different type of errors, and how the PR is exactly solving the issue. And based on that, if there is some of the suggestions needed for that particular PR, so whenever the maintainer goes to checking that PR, he will have a different kind of suggestions that should we can we have an improvement in that, like what are the different being modified with that PR, do we really need that modification. So all this part will be analyzed in the PR management part for each PR, so that whenever maintainer goes and tries to review the PR, the review process become very much easier. And with that ease, basically the merging of the PR in a particular repo can become very simplified, and it could become more faster, so that the pace of development of the complete that open source project will become much more faster and much more easier. Because here till now, whatever the issue trace feature we will have and whatever the PR management feature we will have, both will create a dynamic effect in the progress of the open source repo, and it will take a very great pace. So we will try to work on these two features. Along with that, third feature which we will be focusing on will be contributors insights. So how we'll be managing the insights of different contributors. So here what we are trying to focus that, let's say whenever new contributors come, or whatever and based on what the contributions they have done, like in which files or in which part of the code base, is it back end, front end, or the UI part. Based on those, we basically want to give some analytics to the maintainer for that particular contributor, so that he can see like what kind of commits this contributor is doing, so that whenever that contributor comes in the next meet or something, then based on that, maintainer will have a greater context of that particular contributor, and he can easily talk and communicate with that contributor that in which direction he should be contributing, or maintainer can suggest that particular contributor that you are doing good in this direction, and if you want, you can work on this kind of things. So all these things can be done if we can give contributors insight, so that maintainers can manage thousands or hundreds of contributors in a well mannered way. Along with that, in the contributors insight, we also want to show some of the insights to the contributor, like how he has been contributing, and what contributions he can do to basically maintain his profile or improve his profile, like so more better coding skills and more better problem solving skills. So based on all those things, we'll be giving insights to the contributors, so that he can basically focus on the important part which he is focusing on, and he can basically improve his learning, and base accordingly he can contribute in the open source project. So this is the third feature which we are trying to model, and this is it. And fourth feature would be project progress curve. What this means is that Whatever the commit history of a particular project is, based on analyzing all those things, we are trying to model a progress curve for each particular open source project, so that whenever a new contributor or new user comes, he can just see how the project is progressing, like which features project is implementing, or in which direction project is moving. Based on the idea of the project and based on the past commits of the project, we'll be trying to analyze the progress of the project in its own domain. So domain of every, because we know domain of every project is different, and let's say this is a full stack project or this is a AI project. So in its own domain, and whatever the motive of that particular project is, how the progress is progressing, how the commits are changing. So we'll be also focusing on modeling this part, so that whatever the expected outcome of the project is and whatever the current progress is, are they aligning or not? If they are not aligning, then we can have a suggestion, or let's say if they are not aligning, or if they are somewhat aligning, based on that we can give some of the suggestions, so that whenever a new contributor comes, he can just say, "Okay, okay, this kind of feature is needed in this project to move the project more, align the project further in the intended direction." So this project progress feature is very much important for us for analyzing the project, each project, so that we can have a aligned progress with each progressive commits, and to achieve a end goal in a more better way. So in all these four features, basically, yeah, these are our future plans. But based on all this, there are some of the priorities which we will be working on. So basically, basically all these priorities are basically listed in a same way only. That initially we'll be trying to work on the issue triage feature and PR management feature, so that it we can directly impact the project, right? Ki whatever maintainer is working on and whatever the contributors is contributing PR on, that can be easily managed and that can be easily handled with these two features. The later two features are some kind of feature which is visionary and which is very great to have. But yeah, these last two features require a great amount of modeling, like how we'll be modeling this complete feature, so that because every open source project is a completely different and new project. So so to model all those things, we need a quite robust system, so that we can have a progress planning and contributors insight for every different open source project. So yeah, last two features required a great amount of workforce and a great amount of research, how we can be implementing that. But the initial two features are quite explanatory, and we feel confident in that. Yeah, we can implement that in weeks easily, and we'll also learn a lot while implementing those features. So yeah, these will be the future plans, and these feature will come under the manage page, which will be a whole new section for both maintainers and contributors, where we'll be adding some of the advanced tools and insights to manage a open source project and to contribute in the open source project in a more better way. So yeah, this is the future plan of the project, and yeah, but if you have anything to say, yeah.
So, as you said, the last two features required a lot of work to do. So, we could also get the insights for these last two features from our community, from the contributors. How, what are their views on these two features? What can we include in those two sections? Uh, So these are the things we have to do before the version 3 release, na?
Yeah, initial two features we will try to release complete before the version 0.3.0. So,
Hmm.
and later two will be done after that.
Okay.
So, yeah, yeah.
So we are moving more towards to project management now. GitMesh was till now GitMesh provided insights on the project, and it provided how you can code, and how you can actually contribute to the repository. So looking at these features, I can see that these are mostly related to the management part of the project. Uh, that is good. So let's also talk about our previous meet on 30th October. So there was a big meet, as you might remember, on 30th October. We presented GitMesh in front of the entire Linux Foundation. It was an online window. We presented our work till now, and what are the features of GitMesh, and what basically was GitMesh uh, in the last meet. So, do you have any feedback for the last meet, Ronit?
Yeah, basically last meet was went pretty good actually. We demonstrated in that meet like how Gitmess works, what are the current feature of Gitmess, and basically we received a lot of appreciation from new contributors and new people, which is quite helpful for us to keep us motivated and keep us moving in this with this project. And yeah, it was pretty good, and we heard good remarks from the uh, LFX mentors also. So yeah, it was quite good. So fine, yeah, this is
Yes,
it. Like
it was
everything was good
quite
in the
good
last week.
for us because it was our first official meet for GitMesh, and we also connected with some new people, and even the community architect and the even David Boswell talked that even David Boswell appreciated about a project after the meet. So it means that it went pretty well actually, and all the contributors. It was possible because of all the contributors. Four new contributors and the three maintainers of the Gitmesh repository. And uh, also thanks to Bobby Muscara for appreciating us in the last meet. So that's all for this. Uh, if you have anything else to share.
Yeah, like as I have discussed, like whatever the future plan is. So right now, if you see, we are moving more on a part of core code base understanding, where we will be needing more advanced feature, like how we will be chunking different code bases, or how we will be we will have the embeddings generated for different code bases, so that whenever a maintainer tries to work on some particular code bases, he can work very easily, and he can maintain the PR features and all the different things very easily. So in moving in this direction, like do you have any idea of some other like techniques like which we can be using, or some other tools, existing tools which do these things, so that we can plan accordingly, like how we will be implementing this type of feature? Like, do you have any info about all these things? Like whatever you can have, you just share
Okay,
if you have
so
anything.
yes, most of the things which I was thinking for the last two features, the contributor insights and the project progress. Those were explained by you, but to add, I think we can have the insights for both roles, the contributor and the maintainer as well, uh, for each and every contributor, and relative and an aggregate insights for all the contributors combined. That will be quite helpful for the maintainers as well to look at each individual or the entire group of contributors as a whole. That's my view for the contributor insights, that how it should actually work. And for the project progress curve, it should be different from the star history that you actually see on the GitHub. We can have the insights, AI generated insights based on the previous commits that were going on into the repository, and what are the immediate actions that are needed to be taken, and what are the most and we can have a priority wise priority kind of thing that will actually tell that what things need to be taken care first, and what can we do after that. That should be about the progress curve. The progress curve should show the progress, but it should also tell the new contributors, tell the maintainers what actions need to be taken from now on. That would be a pretty good feature for GitMesh. Besides this, your contributor, the views of all people are invited. Uh, you are always invited to share the more views on these features. So let us know if you want anything uh, to the contributors from the contributors. That's all from my side. If you want to continue.
Yeah, like we have discussed a lot today, like for the future roadmap and whatever the things we have done, and it's like pretty much good if we move with this discussion and work on the implementation part of whatever the things we have discussed, and later in the next week we can have a lot greater discussion, and I'll be working on this manage page and implementing this feature, and yeah, we'll share the progress with everyone in the next step call. And if you have anything extra to share, just share, or yeah, we can like conclude this meeting.
Okay, so let's conclude this meeting. I think that should be enough for today.
Yeah, so have fun. Bye
Ah,
bye.
have a nice day. Bye bye.
Actually, yeah. Bye bye.
Bye.